Max Verstappen is not happy. In fact, he's furious, and for very good reason. What was meant to be a solid weekend for Red Bull at the Bahrain Grand Prix turned into a nightmare with problems on every front. Now, a series of leaked radio messages have revealed just how bad things really got behind the scenes. From balance issues to pit stop failures, Verstappen didn't hold back over the team radio, and his post-race comments have only added fuel to the fire. This wasn't just another tough day at the office. This was a wake-up call for Red Bull, their engineers, and for everyone who thought the 2025 season was going to be business as usual. In this video, we're going to break down exactly what went wrong in Bahrain, what Verstappen said during and after the race, and what it all means moving forward. We'll cover everything, from the shocking in-race radio messages to Verstappen's brutally honest assessment of the RB21. So, make sure to stick around until the very end of this video because we've got all the details right here. Bahrain GP weekend, a roller coaster for Red Bull coming off a strong win in Japan. You would think Red Bull had finally found some consistency with the RB21, but in Bahrain, that momentum disappeared almost instantly. Verstappen qualified in a disappointing hand. Lando Norris, who started just ahead of Verstappen, carved his way through the field and finished on the podium in third place. Meanwhile, Verstappen could only manage sixth. This was a painful result for the reigning world champion and a clear sign that something wasn't working. From the very first stint of the race, things went wrong. Verstappen's radio messages told the story loud and clear. At one point, his frustration boiled over with the now viral line, "I can't even brake anymore, it's just ridiculous." The tone of his voice was unmistakable. This wasn't just frustration with traffic or strategy. This was a driver struggling to even drive the car properly. The balance was completely off, the grip was unpredictable, and the RB21 simply wouldn't respond the way Verstappen wanted it to. This was a nightmare scenario for the team, and Verstappen wasn't hiding his displeasure. Pit stop problems. Red Bull's uncharacteristic blunder, but that wasn't the only issue Red Bull faced during the Bahrain GP. They also suffered a pit stop error that left Verstappen stranded longer than expected in the box. The lightboard system, which signals to the driver when to leave the pit, failed to work correctly. This was a rare but costly mistake. Verstappen later described it as not up to our standards. And when Max Verstappen says that, you know it's serious. Pit stops are supposed to be one of Red Bull's strengths, efficient, reliable, surgical. But in Bahrain, they looked clumsy and underprepared. After the race, Verstappen didn't scream or lash out, but in his usual calm and calculated tone, he delivered what was perhaps an even more powerful blow. Speaking to the media, he said, "Basically, everything went wrong that could go wrong." He described the RB21's pace as very bad and admitted that sixth place was the maximum they could achieve on the day. He went on to say that the lack of balance in the car was worse than expected and that tyre degradation was even worse than last year. That point about the tyres was a major one. Tyre management, a huge problem for Red Bull. Verstappen revealed that the RB21 is struggling more than its predecessor when it comes to managing tyre wear. That's a massive problem in Bahrain, a circuit known for its high degradation nature. Verstappen said, "I just feel like we are even worse on tyres somehow this year. It makes it just very complicated." When Red Bull built last year's car, tyre management was one of their strengths. This year it's becoming a weakness, and one they don't seem to have a quick fix for. What's more concerning is that Verstappen doesn't believe this is just a one-off issue. He made it clear that even winning in Japan didn't mean their problems were solved. "We keep discussing, keep trying to improve. We know that we have our problems. Even if you win a race, you know that doesn't go away," he said. That kind of transparency is rare from Max, and it shows just how aware he is of the challenges ahead. He also brushed off the idea that Red Bull isn't working hard enough to solve the issues. He didn't blame the team directly, but his choice of words was telling. He said, "I try to stay neutral in both positive and negative situations." And while he didn't point fingers, it was obvious he's starting to question why the RB21 still feels so far from where it should be. Red Bull's technical department under pressure. Red Bull's technical department now faces a critical few weeks. They're no longer comfortably ahead of the field. McLaren has clearly made a step forward, Ferrari's car is improving, and even Mercedes has shown glimpses of progress. For the first time in over a year, Red Bull doesn't look like the favourites heading into every weekend, and that shift in narrative, from dominant to vulnerable, is something Verstappen hasn't had to deal with in a while. The next races will be absolutely crucial. If Red Bull wants to stay in the fight for both titles, they need to fix their balance issues, address their tyre wear struggles, and eliminate operational errors like the one we saw in Bahrain. Verstappen is still performing at a world-class level, that much is clear. But he needs the car, the strategy, and the team execution to match. And right now, that simply isn't happening. Is this a temporary slip or a bigger problem? Is this just a temporary slip for